I got an email here. I haven't looked at my email for some time, so if you've emailed me and you're hoping I'm going to give you a response, which I will, I haven't like blown it off or anything. I just haven't. I'm so far behind. It's ridiculous. So far behind. It's crazy. Anyway, let me read this really quick to you. Hey man, watch your videos all the time. Now these are the important parts. I'm a 24-year-old guy, healthy, no hormonal problems. Been lifting for about 2.5 years, gained some muscle, and then lost it when I went for cutting. I want to start steroids. I went to a CBT. He said I have bigorexia and I'm obsessed with my body image. So he goes on to talk about that. Then he says that he doesn't feel like he is obsessed. He does feel he is obsessed with his body image, but he doesn't feel like he has bigorexia because he's not really that big, muscle-wise. He thinks he's fat. And he says, he told me looks weren't everything, etc., etc. You and I both know that looks matter so badly. Anyways, he doesn't wants to know how I feel about it. He's been thinking about self-induced TRT for life. And he wants to know my thoughts on that. He doesn't want to be natural and then reach 30 or 40 years of age with a big belly and man boobs. And my future wife barely wants to be near me. I naturally tend to keep more fat. He's an endomorph. All right, bro. And I'm singling out your video because I think it's an important sentiment to address. That's the overall thing about how important this is to you, and literally your self-esteem is wrapped up in what you perceive your visual appearance to be. So first thing, I understand where you're coming from, man. You're only 24, for Christ's sake. But the first thing you need to think about is, do you want to do something like this because, is it that important to you because you aren't happy with the way you look or feel and you need to do something about it because you're so bothered? In other words, when you pass by a window and you catch some of your reflection in it, does it bother you? I mean, do you say, wow, I can't handle this, I don't even want to stand and look at me? Is it because you feel this way, or is it because you perceive that others look at you that way? That's the first thing you got to figure out. Are you considering something this extreme because, and it is extreme at 24 years old, I'm sorry, but to consider TRT for life at 24 years old, and you have no experience with it at all yet, you haven't even gone there at all, and you've been training for 2.5 years, and then you went to cut, and you lost most of the muscle. So to be considering something this extreme now, TRT for life at 24, when you've already said you don't have any health issues, your hormones are normal, all that jazz. You really need to figure out, is it your self-esteem that's all wrapped up in this because your perception is that others look at you as not up to par or less than strictly because of your appearance, 100% just because of your appearance? Or is it really for you yourself because you actually want to see it in you and you don't care what other people think? That's the first thing you got to get by, because whatever it is, if you're doing it for somebody else, first off, in this case, this kind of thing, where does it end? And you're actually just, it's a step to the side. It's not really, you're not going head on and actually dealing with anything. It's just a step to the side. It's just, I don't know, it's a temporary, psychologically for you, it's a temporary fix. But it's going to lead you down the wrong path, because eventually, somewhere down the road, you're going to have to address these issues. And it's going to always cause you some kind of unhappiness or some kind of disorder in your life, some way or another, small or large. until you address it. And if you just bury it or just roll right over it and just crush it down beneath you, it's still down there, and it's still, you haven't pulled it out at its roots. And I think I would be more concerned from where you're at right now, 24. And let me tell you something. You don't want to be 30 or 40. See, from 24, 30 or 40 seems similar, but to me, a guy that's 55 going on 56, 30 and 40 are a huge difference. Huge difference from 30 to 40. Big, huge, life-changing differences between 30 and 40. Huge. But beside that, I would more so be worried that I'm going to be 30 or 40 and haven't addressed the root causes of you feeling this way. Because, you could go on something. Yeah, you could, train hard. You could become obsessed with it and, singularly focused. And you could build a bunch of muscle and you could, all this kind of stuff. But is it going to actually make you happy? Something crawled on my back. What the hell is it? Oh, freaking spider. I'm in the spider capital of USA right here. Anyway, I would be more concerned with ending up being 30 or 40, even though there's huge drastic divide between being 30 and 40, and still having these things. Because if your self-esteem is that wrapped up in how you perceive other people to judge your appearance or feel about your physical appearance, if your self-esteem is that wrapped up and caught up in that, and you don't address that or you don't figure that out and fix that, resolve that, that's still going to be there. And then you're going to be 30 or 40 and you haven't even addressed that yet. And the main thing is all these little things, no matter what they are in your life, it could be that, it can be something else, whatever they are. We're all different. We all have different issues we need to resolve and address as we move through the world. Your goal should be, when you find these things, to resolve them. The sooner you take that perspective and attitude and you move toward the resolution of these things and refine your personality, refine your person, your character, the sooner you move toward doing that, the sooner you're going to be capable of better knowing any other person in any type of relationship or situation, because then you will more thoroughly know yourself. Trust me on this. There are people walking around this planet that are fully grown men, and they still are triggered and have all kind of buttons that can be easily pushed and every other thing. Why? Because they've overcompensated or they've sidestepped or things like this, and they haven't addressed issues at the root cause of whatever they're carrying, baggage. And that's what that is, baggage. And we're all carrying some kind of baggage. Just from experience, I would say the earlier that you get that ingrained in your head and you figure out the actual key to the most happiness that you're going to be able to obtain in life, and being the most comfortable you can be within your own skin, is just that. It is addressing these issues, these neuroses, these underdeveloped places in your psyche that you might be afraid to go, but you got to go. You got to go. Sooner you go, you'll find it's not so much to fear anyway. And I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, because I'm not that eloquent, especially this evening. It's getting late and my brain fades as the sun goes down and afterwards. Other than that, at 24, okay, 2.5 years, I'm not trying to be mean, but let me tell you this, 2.5 years, you've barely started working out. And the reason I say that is because to be successful at it, okay, and once again, a person can do something incorrectly their entire life. A person can throw their hands up and say, I've been doing this for 30 or 40 or 20 years. And you know what? They could have been doing it incorrectly and doing it badly for that length of time too. And they're just too hard-headed or too set to the side, right? Rather than actually look at the source of the problem. to admit that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So, because that's a hard pill to swallow. You've been doing something, that long of a period of time, and you still don't know what the hell you're doing, really. So 2.5 years, that's no time at all to learn your physiology and you and every other thing. So I would say that whatever muscle you built in 2.5 years, and then you went and cut, first off, if you're, you say you lost all your muscle, well, clearly you have issues where you need to learn more about nutrition, you need to learn more about diet, you need to learn what approach is going to work best for you and yield the best results. Just because you have one negative experience where something didn't turn out right, that doesn't mean you're not capable of finding another way to do things or why it turned out wrong and fixing it. The answer isn't that you need to go on hormones if everything is normal in your body and you're only 24 years old. That's a little drastic, I have nothing against men augmenting their test levels. I mean, God knows that. I know that, we're being stepped on all the time by the environment. I mean, we're out of the womb like that. But at 24, that's, not yet, brother, not yet. I think, even when I've gotten in shape, right, for one reason or another or whatever, be it I was arrogant or be it that I was just lazy or whatever, there have been times when I've gotten in shape like to compete. There have been times when I nailed it, slammed it dead on the head and looked like $1 million. I mean, looked like, the cat's meow. And then, even after having, achieved that pinnacle of personal success, right? Even after already being capable and demonstrating that, then I have gone on and looked like total crap on stage. Total shit. Just completely blew it. From A to Z, completely. Didn't even look like the same guy. You wouldn't even believe it was the same guy. So, that's your first try out of the box. Okay. First thing is probably, you say that you gain fat easily. The first thing out of the box is you shouldn't even be looking at the world through, with this two-pronged approach that you're going to bulk first and then cut. So you specifically state that you gained some muscle and you lost it all when you went to cutting. Why don't you incorporate the two and kind of recomp? A long, slow progression of a recomp, as long as there's progression, small steps to the moon, so that you're improving your physique, but your shape is improving and your conditioning is also improving and your body fat levels are improving little by little as you go. Instead of, it's not going to happen overnight. You figure if you've been at it 2.5 years, all right, how much time did you spend bulking? How much time did you spend cutting? And then when did you say to yourself, something's wrong, I'm not happy, I lost all my muscle? Did you get lean? Did you even get lean? So I think the first thing that you do is you get a basic diet together, sensible diet. Don't eat a bunch of garbage, a bunch of shit. Unlike a lot of people, I'm going to tell you that you're going to have to decide what's most important to you. If you like ice cream like I do, and if you like chocolate chip cookies like I do, you have to decide, if your shape isn't pleasing to you, then you're going to have to decide, is it more important to me than chocolate chip cookies? Is it more important to me than eating a bowl of ice cream? Because to be quite honest with you, sometimes for me, it's not more important. Sometimes for me, it's, don't care. Because I'm old, been there, done that, it's nothing new to me, right? I drop dead tomorrow. It doesn't matter to me what I look like. I'm not even going to be here to see it, Once they, dress me all up and pimp me all out and throw me in the box, I'm not going to be here. I can't appreciate that. So what do I care? But if I passed up I really wanted that chocolate chip cookie and I passed that up and I dropped dead tomorrow, then what the hell? I missed out. I wish I'd have had that last chocolate chip cookie.
You're dead, so you care.
Right, but you're dead either way, so you really don't care, I guess, right? Anyhow, but I don't think there are any chocolate chip cookies and ice cream in the afterlife. That's my thing.
You might have a
But
treat waiting for you.
if that's your idea of heaven, maybe there are. But you have to be real with yourself. I'm not trying to be smart or funny, but you need to be real with yourself and honest with yourself and decide what's more important to me, and do I want to eat that cookie or that ice cream, or is it more important to me to worry about my physique? Don't cop out and say to yourself, I'm going to fail anyway, so the hell with it, I might as well just eat it. I might as well eat it because it doesn't matter. I'm going to fail anyway. Don't say that. You got to toughen up. So that's my answer to you. Toughen up, bro. You're going to have to toughen up. If you need help with a diet, if you have questions and stuff like that with nutrition, feel free to ask those questions. Ask me, ask in the comments section, ask Brother Jeff Drama, ask Brother Burl. Both of these two guys are awesome with nutrition. There's so many guys you can ask, so many people that you can ask, man. You can ask me. But get your nutrition together, get that on point, get your training on point, and try it again. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, put some iodine on your scraped knees, and try it again. But that's a serious cop-out. You took one shot, you struck out one time at bat, you struck out first time at bat, and now you just want to go on anabolics at 24, and you figure you're going to stay on them for life. Did you really think that I would support that, Maybe I'll sit down and write you a more thorough email about diet and nutrition for maybe somebody that, like you say, you gain fat easily, so you hold weight easily. Maybe I'll send you a few things that I think that are very helpful ideas, nutritional wise, from a nutritional standpoint. Anyway, brother, that's it. I'm sorry if it hasn't been much help. I'm giving you honest to God truth. I'm giving you my serious, honest opinion. Yeah, I would, no, not at 24, bro. Not at 24. I would, not unless you got something legit wrong. And you say you don't. So you just got to get in there and do it again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. And the other thing is, being physically fit does draw more positive attraction from the fairer sex. There's no question about that bullshit. There's no question about it. But I can't really say how important it actually is, because I've always looked basically like this for so long that I can't even recall. I mean, prior to that, it would be so far back that I wasn't happy with the way I looked anyway, and I'm sure I presented myself that way. People could see that in other facets of my presentation or whatever. Anyway, that's it. You guys take care. I'm going to get back to making some videos. I'm going to get back to training. I have to. I need to. I'm getting too old. I just need motivation, man. I need motivation, bro. If you guys, any of you older guys, if you are having problems with your motivation and you're finding it from somewhere, let me know. Let me know what you do to stay motivated. How do you stay motivated? I never thought I'd have to ask that question. All right, you guys take care. Have an awesome evening.